got a new novel out today called #MeAsWell. He is a longtime co-executive producer and writer of Seinfeld episodes, the man who brought words like yada yada and shrinkage into our lexicon. He is Peter Mehlman. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, this is about a Pulitzer Prize-winning sports columnist for the Washington Post, who's had decades of a great career, mostly blameless existence, I'm reading right here, tosses out a characteristic one-liner, and then social media picks it up, joke goes viral, and craziness ensues. Is this about Tony Kornheiser?
No.
It is not. Okay.
I think it's, I started out at the Washington Post in sports, and I think it's me if I had followed all the rules and stayed at the Post.
Okay.
Like if all that time I had covered teams and did everything and became a columnist, and that's where I am now.
Like Tony.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But it's, it was my effort to kind of take a humorous look at the Me Too movement, because it's such a funny thing,
Funny.
It's so ripe with humor.
And that's why you went to it and put a book together.
It's just
#MeAsWell.
It's actually kind of a funny story, because the joke he tells that gets him in trouble is he's sitting around with a bunch of sports writers, and they're discussing a notoriously soft NBA player. Let's say Charles Smith.
Spoken like a diehard Knicks fan. Okay, very good.
And this player happens to be on the injured list. And so my guy in the book jokingly says, how long is a guy usually out for a hysterectomy?
And that's what goes viral.
And the joke goes viral, and he gets caught up in the Me Too movement because, people think it's incredibly sexist. And, I wanted to, kind of tightrope the line between something that is actually funny, is borderline sexist, but could be interpreted, it kind of walks a line. And here's the funny thing you'll love about this. I had that idea like 20 years ago, and when I was doing a show on ABC called It's Like You Know, I called up Tommy Schlamme, the director of Sports Night, and said, I came up with this idea because these ESPN guys, they're constantly trying to be so funny that what if one of them goes too far?
Right.
And he makes that joke. So I had that joke 20 years ago. And, Tommy Schlamme says to me, don't you have your own show to do?
That's right.
And I said, yeah, but, we're on the same network, and I can't use that idea, but I thought it would be really good for you guys. So I'm being a team player, which I don't really like being, but I am being a team player.
So he did not run it up the Aaron Sorkin flagpole?
Not only did he run it up.
Yeah.
I'm at an ABC party a couple of weeks later, and Aaron comes up to me and says, can I have a word with you? I'm like, oh my God, he's like offended that I gave. And he goes, that idea you gave and you calling, that was the bleepingest classy thing I have ever heard. And that is so classy. And I said, oh God, I'm glad, Aaron, but you got to work on your verbal cues. You scared the hell out of me. I thought you were offended. So anyway, I had that lying around for 20 years,
And now it's in #MeAsWell. You get the book that's available starting today. So also, because Tony from back in the day at the Washington Post, you worked on Sports Beat with Howard Cosell for 3 years?
Yes, I did.
What in the heck was that like? What's your favorite Howard story, Peter?
My favorite Howard story, I'll tell you, the fastest one.
Okay.
Speaking of Me Too.
Oh no.
No, but this is Howard. I mean,
all right.
Nobody knows how funny he was.
Okay.
He was incredibly funny. And I'll tell you one quick one is that, we interviewed Donald Trump up in his tower when he owned the USFL team.
Okay.
And, I thought, wow, what a nice guy. And then we walk out, and Howard says to me on the street, he goes,
careful.
I've never met anybody so lucky to be born rich.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And but the other story I want to tell you, the funnier story I want to tell you is driving in a limo with Howard on a brutally hot New York day.
Yes.
Driving west, and there is on the corner a woman who's clearly a model, like a fashion model, standing on the corner waiting to cross the street. Mm-hmm. And two cars in front of us almost collide. Mm-hmm. And Howard sticks his head out the window and says, "Honey, you've got to be more careful." And to her credit, the girl was hysterical laughing.
Telling it like it is.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.